welcome to the Truth Response, guys. We're here. I'm awake, I promise.
You're awake?
I'm awake.
That's our starting line. It sounded very...
Yeah, no, I know. It's like, whatever. I'm drinking Rockstar even, so I'm Derek.
He's trying. I'm Matt.
I'm Carlene.
Carlene's back.
Hey.
Back again.
I knew you were going to do it. I just looked at you.
Guess who's back?
Tell a friend.
Sorry.
So
No, I was gonna say,
I was just waiting. I
didn't.
It
You
kinda
don't
stopped.
normally. You normally just go, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah.
You
Well,
don't normally continue it. So
I was like, it's there. I just got to finish it. All right.
So what's up? What are we talking about today? We're talking about trust.
We're talking
about trust. This is your fault.
Talking about trust.
Why is it my fault? You
This is
asked
your
me the
topic.
question. Okay.
So it's good.
So
That's good.
the question is, can you be trusted?
What?
With nothing.
Are you coming at me?
Especially not a list at Walmart. I am not to be trusted with a list at Walmart if you only want me to buy stuff on the list.
Actually, I'm better on a list than I am without one.
Oh,
Spontaneous.
I'll get
By
everything
far.
on the list.
Impulsive.
My problem is I get everything that's not on the list as well.
Actually,
I need supervision.
I'm way better at it than my wife is. My wife and I will she'll give me a list, or we'll put one together, or I'll put one together. It doesn't matter. And for the most part, I stay on the list. Every once in a while, I might get something here or there on top of it, but, I'm pretty much sticking to the list. Or as I like to call it, getting the messages. So she, however, will go, and she'll have a list, but there's all kinds of stuff that comes home.
No.
And it's on sale, or, I forgot we needed that, and all that. And there's always a justifying reason, but I'm like, you do this way more than me.
Oh, Lizzie's even rare about the whole I forgot we needed that. Like, she's, like, on point. She gets what she goes in for. She doesn't want to be there any longer than she has to. I'm the guy that's like, let's go down this aisle.
Well,
and
I think for Sadie and I, it's I usually, if I'll do it in a way that's usually I have other things to do. So that's when I'm in and out. If I have time, I relax and I just enjoy the trip. And I think Sadie does the same thing. And I think it's because we have we have 5 kids, so it's like
You relax
I don't care.
At Walmart?
Walmart, if it feels stressful, I'm more out. But like if I'm at Publix, for instance, like I'll
see, I'm uncomfortable at
I'm
Publix because it costs way too much.
Yeah.
I like looking at
It's
buy
ridiculous.
one get ones.
Exactly.
Oh,
I love their buy one get
yeah.
ones.
I'm not gonna.
It's really not a
I'm not gonna
real
go there
deal,
for
right?
3 items, right? Like, it's not worth it. I
Don't
might as well
burst
just go
bubbles.
to Walmart. I'd rather drive to LaBelle Walmart, to be honest.
It actually
with
is
you.
really nice up there.
There
Yeah,
I will
it's great.
Walk around. I'll
Yeah.
walk.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, it's nicer Walmart.
It's
Yeah.
cleaner.
More open town.
organized.
So
That part doesn't matter to me.
No, I
The
don't want to.
cleaner or the organized, it's the people that allow their kids to run nuts. Or they don't care. They'll just walk in front of you. That drives me crazy. It's like,
Don't
look,
say excuse me.
oh,
nothing.
man,
Oh,
you
that-
have no idea how hard it is to hold my tongue. I want to be like,
see, it
excuse
doesn't
me.
bother me.
The word is excuse me.
That you know what? I'm not. Where I
At
grew
this
up,
Walmart? Yes.
where I grew up, some of the WalMarts, man, were so terrible and so filled with people.
You had
It
Walmart?
does not bother me.
See,
the one
that's the
here
opposite
does
of
not
me.
bother me
When you
at
grew
all.
up, you had Walmart.
That's
What?
Oh yeah, I forget. You're still young.
What?
I didn't have Walmart when I was growing up.
It wasn't there at first, but it was there towards.
Bradley's, Purity Supreme, Woolworths.
So anyway,
But it existed.
the
I just wanna say
area,
that.
not even when I was, the area does not bother me. It doesn't bother me. The area I was in was not. There was other ones, but the one that the city I grew up in, that one was just bad. If you went down there, it felt worse than.
See, I grew
here.
up in the Midwest,
So-
and so the closer you get to their headquarters, the nicer the Walmart. Like, just as far as like people, even.
It's because
like, just,
people in high positions don't like driving far.
I didn't start going to Walmart until I came to Florida
Well,
in 2004.
you had other options apparently.
Where'd you go? Where were you originally from?
Boston.
Oh yeah, okay.
I just never knew nothing about Walmart.
So what was your store?
Bradley's,
Bradley's,
Woolworths,
Woolworth,
Sears,
Woolworth,
Sears.
Woolworth.
Sears.
We our last Woolworth went out in where I was from in Maryland a long
80s.
time. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
can't remember the last time I was in a
Yeah,
Woolworth.
late 80s. Bradley's went out like in the early 90s.
All right. So, in all fairness, when did you move to Florida? What year?
2004,
Okay.
right after Charlie. So I got here in September of 04.
I moved here.
Man, that's a bummer. You almost made it to the cheaper housing.
I know.
I moved here 20 years after you did.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I came in 2024.
You know it's 2025, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So 20 years later.
Is that the truth?
So trust me when I
That's the truth.
say
You know. You
Look.
know.
trust me when I say we've gotten off topic.
Yes, we
So,
Yes, we have.
Today we're going
You
to
can
talk
trust
about
that.
trust. Carlene's got some stuff she wants to talk about, or at least some questions or some
Yeah.
direction.
Which
I'm
is-
along for the ride like normal. You guys know I don't.
I wanted it to be my turn to be along for the ride.
Well, you should have said something.
Well, we'll both be along for the ride.
It's
I
okay.
mean, okay.
She's the one going to lead it. It's
She's gonna
fine.
lead it.
It'll be great.
We're
so,
going to see how it goes.
welcome to the Truth Response.
Doo-doo-doo.
Okay. Thank you, Lord, for this day. Thank you for just the fellowship, the fun, the awesome topic, the like craziness that we're getting ready to get into. It's already big and crazy, but I know how things are. And I just pray that you guide the conversation to be productive, fun, and let us all learn a little something. It's in your precious and holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, so trust.
It's a big word.
It is a big word.
It's a big word with many, 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 many meanings.
Yeah. It reminds me of this company I found. I'm going to give them a shout out again. Trust God, bro.
Trust God, bro.
Trust God, bro.
Their stuff's expensive.
Not all of it. Some of it's $10. I got some shirts for like $10.
I didn't see any hats when I went on there.
They had a hat when I looked, but I gotta get a hat so I can rep them.
We repping
Trust.
people now?
Yep, I
Well,
like
if you
repping.
got the stuff, then you can rep it.
I'm repping
She's repping
See?
Right.
Rockstar, Rise
the
Church,
truth response.
tons of newsboys.
Actually, I didn't.
Us.
I didn't even think about it. It's a hat and a shirt.
I
both
gotta get my.
newsboys.
I'm gonna. You still have shirts?
Uh huh.
Okay, I'm gonna order my shirt.
Okay.
Especially if
Okay.
I'm gonna be here.
Yeah.
Okay.
She can.
We also have just
Dun, dun, dun,
just to put it out there again. We also have Patreon now.
Patreon.
And if you're a top tier ambassador
You get t-shirt
of truth
for free.
for 3 months, you get a free T-shirt
A
sent to you.
top tier.
Top
Yep.
tier.
Top
Ambassador.
tier. That's the ambassador of truth. We have 3 tiers. We have truth seekers, which is I want to give them a foot, just a little dip it in there.
I'm
We
looking.
have insight insiders. So those are like the mid tier, and then you've got the ambassadors of truth. I'm all in.
And they get after 3 months they get a t-shirt.
Yep.
Okay.
And there's stickers or something for the insight insiders.
Yeah.
So
That go on your car?
I can put them anywhere.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, and with that comes the video versions of our men's and women's podcasts. Access to all the tiers get access to what's called the rabbit hole, which is like a longer,
Just what it is.
rabbit hole.
It's a
right?
rabbit hole.
It is a rabbit hole, and then anybody of insiders and above gets a weekly 5-day devotional
Nice.
that has something to do with the podcast that
Well,
comes
you have to
out
show me all that,
the episode. So
because back in the game.
Back in the game.
back in the
So-
game. I'm confused.
I don't know. Just
Yeah. I feel like we're truthfully getting off topic just a little bit.
don't
Well, I was
trust-
pitching
I don't
our
trust
Patreon.
I know.
I was pitching our Patreon.
I
It's a
don't-
good pitch.
I don't trust any of you.
Okay. Sometimes we need to pitch. Okay. It's okay to pitch sometimes.
Okay, so
Put me in,
I
coach.
did my little,
Do you outline?
my little.
Do You got an outline going on?
I got a little outline. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I was. My brain was there.
Did you underline anything in the outline?
I kind of did.
You underlined in the outline?
She highlighted.
She highlighted the outline?
She highlighted
I
stuff in
highlighted
the-
certain things.
All right, let's
All right.
go.
Okay. So
I'm excited.
see how they do me? I come back and you see how they do me.
Oh, this
Okay.
is good.
Okay. So
So
word-
are you sure you've got that exactly? Sorry. Okay, I won't do it anymore.
Yeah, you can tell that we're in a mood today. All
They're
right.
in rare form. So for the word trust, right? We know that it's a word that can either make or break a person's perception of thought, a person, or a situation, right? Because it's like, do I trust my gut feeling? Do I trust what you think should happen? Do I even trust you?
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's how we're always using this word.
I feel like you're
And
pointing at me
then-
a lot.
Huh?
She pointed at me and herself. Like there was no a lot. It was equal pointing.
Point
Right?
it right at me. Do I trust you? Okay, keep going.
She doesn't even know if she can trust her gut. Why would she
Right.
trust you?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
So we're only gonna dive into the one meaning of this word trust.
Okay.
We're not gonna talk about the trust.
We're not going to
that
talk
you
about
would-
financial.
Financial. We're not gonna do that, right?
Okay, let's go.
So the Merriam-Webster's definition of trust is assured reliance on the character, ability, strength, or truth of someone or something, right? Britannica says belief that someone or something is reliable, good, honest, and effective. And then Oxford defines it as a firm belief in the reliability, truth, or ability of someone or something, confidence or faith in a person or thing, or in an attribute of a person. And then the verb form of it for Oxford is to believe, to rely on the truthfulness or evidence of. So with that being said, you're looking at these three definitions. Basically, what do you go with? Who is it that you trust on what they're saying? I mean, Oxford hits it on the nail when you're going into that Christian, Bible, look at the Lord more so than you do on the other two, because I feel like they're more so going on when they say someone or something, like God is not just something. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like where Oxford talks about faith, that more hits it on the nail.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so when you think about trust and faith, I think those things go hand in hand. To have faith in something would be to have trust in something.
Mm-hmm.
And when I think about, so I think I brought this up before on a different show. I'm not sure, but I've talked about it recently in some place of my life. But one of the guys I went to, I was in seminary, was talking about they were away, and this guy was in a place where he was trying to translate the Bible, and the word faith, they didn't really have a word for it that he could so he said he found himself kind of leaning back in his chair, and he said he thought about it. He's like, I'm putting a lot of faith into this chair that's going to hold me. I'm not going to fall over. So he looked at the guy and said, what would you call this? And he leaned back, and he gave him a word that meant to put all your weight on, to lean all of your weight on. And he's like, that's what faith basically is. You're putting all your trust in that. You're putting all your weight on that. So if you're trusting someone's going to take care of your kids, you're leaning on them, and you're putting your weight on them that they're going to do such things. If you're trusting someone to teach the right things, to protect you, to provide for you, all the things that we give attributes. I mean, the God is the person that we can trust more than anyone. By far. It's not even close. But when you think about all the ways that we can trust in him, when we can see the pieces of those things in people around us, that's when we can start to, put that into other people as well. But if you're talking about ultimate trust, I would say only with God. I mean, that's the easy answer, right?
So I don't know about you, like this, I'm more newer to this walk, right?
Okay.
So growing up, that was always my motto, DTA.
Don't trust anyone.
Correct.
Yeah.
You know, because where I'm from, you don't know if that person is going to step on you and use you as a map.
Stab me in the back. Yeah.
Stab me in the back, or you know.
You ever seen the movie The Italian Job? The remake, where they drove little minis around to make their little heist.
I don't think I'm not a big action person or anything like that. So
that was in that movie. The actor, Senior Sutherland, he said this line, and I thought it was interesting. Yeah, I know. I said
Okay.
Senior
Sutherland.
I got it.
He said, "Oh, I trust everyone. It's the devil inside them I don't trust." And I was like, there's something to that, where we who are in this broken world and easily fall victim to temptation, like that's the part that makes it hard sometimes to, like, can I trust this person to not do the thing that I need them not to do?
It took me 18 years to build up a wall of, I can only trust what I say, right? Not what anybody else says, because there's other people have an ulterior motive. You know what I'm saying? So then I go and I get saved, right? Do you know how much of a battle it is? Do I trust what I say now? Do I trust what he says? Do I trust what I read? Do I trust what I hear? Trust is a word I throw around now that it's like I can't even grasp what part of it. But I was reading some stuff and I was like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. So I found these two quotes that I really liked. It's a Christian evangelist named George Mueller, right? He said, the beginning of anxiety is the end of faith, and the beginning of true faith is the end of anxiety, right? And that's a big thing that is now. Everybody's got anxiety.
Well, yeah, I can relate to that. I mean, wholeheartedly. And sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're okay.
No, I talked about this. Oh, I know you and I talked about this. Once again, like, I don't remember where all my conversations go. So if I end up repeating myself to people that listen on this show, I'm sorry.
Down the rabbit hole.
It's just how it applies here. Like, on this conversation,
But this is something that I fall into this sometimes, actually, where I feel like I've learned this lesson with God, and then he'll be like, "You're doing it again." And usually it's revolving, like, I feel him make, basically, there's a move that needs to be made. Or something new that my wife and I need to embrace, whether it's a job move, a financial move, or this or that and that. And every time I start to get nervous and anxious, and it's usually because I'm putting my hands on the wheel. I'm trying to figure out how this is going to work. I'm going to somehow solve this so that it won't be a bother and I can have it figured out. And it causes me so much stress, and God eventually will let me do it just long enough to then go, you need to just trust me.
Oh, man, listen, the road, I used to know how to drive before I became Christian. I don't know how to drive anymore. Every time I go to lay my hands, no, God, I got this, watch. And I go to lay my hands on the wheel, I'd be like, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I just went through that, where I took that step away, because I was just going through so much, and my brain was it was in overdrive, and I didn't know how to calm it down, and I didn't know what to say, to the point where I didn't come to church. I just went to work, and I went home. I wasn't doing good in class because something was going on. It was a battle,
Yeah, it's like a infection.
Oh, it was bad, and until finally, when it took me leaving my house for our anniversary last week, when I was like, oh, wait a minute. It's something else. It's something else. There's like a shroud, like a dark cloud just over the house, and it's like it keeps pulling me back in, pulling me in. And when I say stress from this end to that end, it's like thick. You can cut it, until when we left, and I came back and I said, you know what? I got to go back and do what I was doing before. So that's why when you said, hey, you want to do the podcast? And I was like, okay. It was me saying to Derek, hey, Derek Tennant, like, hey, let me start another Bible study. This is what I want to do. So, like, I had to come back to it, you know, and that was my big thing. That's why I said trust, because my trust does this. It falters.
Yeah. Well, I will say that when we say, like, can we even trust ourselves? It's like, well, we like to think we can,
right?
You know, especially when we are, even the Christian who believes that, hey, I'm following the Lord and He's my guide. But if you're putting a lot in your own hands, and you're thinking I can do it myself, sometimes we don't realize that when we say I can do this myself, it means I'm going to do this without God. And when I do that, I'm like, I don't think I can be trusted with that.
No.
But when I go to God and go, I'm sorry, and luckily the Lord is patient with me and forgiving with me and everything that I need Him to be.
He's patient with you. He must.
There was a music video that I saw one time. It was a music video, whatever, play to a song or whatever. It was one of those Christian, you know, like the skits to music, whatever.
Okay.
My brain, it's not there.
We'll get you there.
The summary of it, though, like the whole thing.
The synopsis.
The short end of the stick. The thing that is really strong that I pulled from it was anytime that you decide you're going to do something without God, you're re-nailing Him to the cross.
Ooh.
It's the only way to get Him to stay.
Wow, that's an interesting, hurtful thing.
That is very interesting.
Well, I mean, it's to some degree. I mean, I guess I can't argue with that because we start to think we can do life on our own without Him again, and
yeah,
you know, it's amazing to me that God is that patient with me sometimes, especially on the things that, like, I feel like and every time He does it, I get a little better. Honestly, I feel like I listen quicker the next time I try to do it, and I think that it's more impactful when I realize when He finally goes, you need to trust me in this. It's easier for me to accept that and then let go, which was much harder earlier in my walk than because this last thing that I was working with, it was like, oh, how's this gonna work? And He was finally like, if this is what I'm telling you to do, then you need to know that I've got you.
Yeah.
Like every other time. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's me being dumb. And it's weird how the peace came over me, like, because it was easier for me to go, okay. And it's been fine since then for me. That this is going to happen. God's providing a way. I might not know how that's going to work, and it might be different than I ever thought it's going to be. But you know what? He has a way of making it work in ways that I can't. So,
the example of that's given in the skit was like college student. Jesus is hanging out with them everywhere they go, right? Like just right there, everywhere they go. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to this party. You stay here, I'll be back. And they go to leave, and he goes to follow because he doesn't do that, right? Like he's with you always.
Right.
And so he's like, no. You stay here. I'm going to go to the party. I'll be back.
Right.
And it happens like 3 times. And then when he turns around, he's like, I said stay here, as he's nailing him to the cross, right? So it's like, it's one of those, like, how often do we tell God, I don't. I want to do things my way. Not just like the inadvertent things, like trying to do things my way, but like,
well, it's easy
like,
to do.
I'm not even going to pray about this because I know you'll be involved. I don't need your
Right.
help in this. I've got this, you know, but
Right.
like, how direct do we get sometimes, you know? It's almost scary if we really think about it.
I noticed that, you know, the mind is so indecisive. My mind's indecisive. I'm always like, and the one thing that when I read it today and I was like, oh, okay, I got you. You know, it was Hebrews 13:8, right? No matter how indecisive I am and how I'm constantly always wanting to change, He never changes. He stays the same. So I need to put my trust there because no matter what, He'll never change the way He looks at me, the way he feels about me, and the purpose that he has for me. Whereas me, oh man, listen, I might have red hair tomorrow. Stop playing.
With you, I wouldn't doubt it. Like
it's like it's always I'm always searching for something different because I don't want to feel what I'm feeling. So I'm always looking towards difference,
Yeah.
Now, what about when dealing with other people? Because when we talk about trust, we talk about like how hard it is to trust some people because we built walls or whatever, but like at the same time, we're supposed to be doing everything that we do as though we're doing it for the Lord and we trust Him. Why don't we trust Him to have our back when we're dealing with somebody else? It may not be them that you're placing the trust in, but why can't we put our trust in God when we're dealing with that person and saying, look, I understand. I've built these walls because people have hurt me, people have done these things, it's hard to trust other people.
Because the flesh doesn't want to allow it. I'm telling you, the flesh, just like God is powerful, the flesh is powerful,
Not more powerful.
Not more powerful, but it is powerful.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's why you get those feelings. Like, okay, I met you for the first time. This is how I look at you.
I think that's actually how she did the first time.
I look at you like that, didn't I? What's this guy about?
Who's this dude?
Right, like, what's this guy about? I didn't do that to you, Derek.
No, but you met Serenity first, so.
True.
I mean, that was like at least in between us, kind of a.
Yeah. Serenity, Lizzie, and then you.
Yeah.
Or in somewhere in that order.
I think I met your daughter before I met you.
You probably did. Yeah. And it was always like, what's your end game? That's always my question. What is your end game? Instead of me like just being like, hey, just, and it's crazy because sometimes I'll be at the grocery store or I'll be at anywhere and someone will say something and I'll just start talking to the person. And I have no problem with that. Because you know what? At the end of the day, guess what?
You're probably not going to see him ever again. There's a good chance you're not going to.
But I am a firm believer.
But does everybody have an end game?
No, not everybody doesn't. But I am a firm believer in, I do talk to everybody. Because you know what? I don't know what you're dealing with that day. And maybe I might say something that might change your your thought process. So I do that. And I think why I'm so standoffish with people is because when I do try to help people and they are like, no, I'm going to do it my way, which is probably how God feels about me. But I get mad. I'd be like, okay, well, do it yourself then.
I find it strange. I struggle more with people in the church than I do with people outside the church when it comes to that. Now, some people in the church I know have got my back more than anybody, right? Like, I get that. But, like, when it comes to church people, it's like I have lately even become an introvert. I'll go hide. I don't want to talk to anybody. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to deal with any of that. I don't know who I can trust. I don't know, all of that kind of stuff's rolling around in my head where, like, homeless dude on the street, I'll tell him my life story,
right,
like, I don't know, whatever. I can tell him, hey, I'm starting a laser engraving business.
Well, I think a lot of that.
Strider Design, by the way.
That's the.
Yep, Strider Designs.
I should have brought my little sign, like.
Dude, I got tumblers now. I got tumblers figured out. So,
yeah. So, I mean, but you and I have both experienced church hurt in a capacity where we were hurt by the church.
Church leadership.
And church leadership specifically. Yeah. And so, when you have those kind of things in your past, it's even easier to put up walls, whether you're dealing with someone in leadership or even in the congregation. You're like, how much of me should I share so that I don't get stabbed? And
there's nothing to hate on that.
No, I mean,
but
it's a
you got to move past that.
You do. It was like I'm such an extrovert that I just can't help but move in ways that sometimes I'm like, well, I don't know if I was ready to move that direction, but I did. And but just because I love people on the whole, I do, and I'm like ready to just be
I'm both.
that person. So yeah,
I'm both. I can give it all, but then at the end of the day, I need to recoup.
Yeah.
So then you're really an introvert who presents as an extrovert because you get your energy back when.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am not. I need to be around people.
I need people around. I go loony.
See, no.
COVID showed that in Maryland. COVID was lockdown, like
yeah.
jail, like it was bad. And
Now, see me, I
lost my
find
mind.
things to do.
I see.
Lizzie
It's
can
not
too.
I'm a
enough.
creative person, so I can
Sadie-
find things to do.
I'm
Sadie
a
can do
creative
that.
person, and I can't do it.
No.
Sadie can. She could be at the house for like a couple weeks, no human interaction, perfectly fine.
Yeah.
If I did that, I'd start to go crazy.
Lizzie could do that with the rest of her life.
I feel like Sadie probably could,
I
but
mean,
I-
every so
I-
often I might need
I
them.
felt so bad. This is for real. When we got locked down, it was not too far into it. It wasn't even that long into it. And I was already going so crazy that we had to get this guy to come out, wore a mask, the whole thing, to go look at our washing machine. We had a new dishwasher. I talked his darn ear off the entire time. That poor guy must have been like, I need to get out of this house.
This dude's gonna give me COVID.
Like, he's just not, I felt bad, but I couldn't help myself. I just talked to him the whole time. He don't know who I am. I talked to him about Spam. I was cooking Spam. I talked to him about
That's disgusting.
Spam. First
That is
off, it's
gross.
not disgusting.
It
It's
That is
delicious.
disgusting.
Well, that's a whole different topic. But no, that's how bad I
Regurgitated
am.
ham.
I don't
It
know
got
if I
so
can trust
bad.
you anymore. You
I
ate
don't-
spam.
I got so bad that Sadie, when things just, they weren't even fully open up yet. But Sadie looked at me, he's like, you need to get out of this house.
Yeah, get
you need
away.
to go
Goodbye.
find some people, call some people up, get out of the house. Like, I don't know. I get a little needy.
Look, Lizzie
guess.
and I, for some reason, we just don't get each other when it comes to the introverted extrovertedness. We know that is true about the other person, but we just can't like when I think about things that Lizzie should be doing or could be doing or whatever, I cannot wrap my head around the fact that some things she is just drained of, and she, on the vice versa, like she's like. She just can't imagine how I could just want to go all the time. Like I could just be. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it's not to say that I don't enjoy things by myself too. Like I'll sit and play a video game by myself, watch a movie by myself, stuff like that. But only to certain degrees. Like I need way less of that than I need to be around people.
I only do that whenever I don't have anybody I have access to. Like I can't go over to somebody's house every night of the week after my wife goes to bed, or else I would. Like, I would totally do that.
We say
But-
hello
I'd be like,
at the door, like,
hey,
I'm here again.
hey,
like,
No, but
hey, Kevin.
I do realize
Kevin,
though,
I see you. hey, Kevin. I'm going to go around to your back door.
as
I hear
crazy-
Orlando and I have that in common, so just for the record.
as crazy extrovert as I am, I do know that like I have like a level. So like if I'm feeling low, if I haven't talked to anyone, I it's like I'm fiending. Might as well be a crack addict. Like I need to get some. I don't know what it is. I need to talk to people. And then, if I'm in the mid range, then that's usually where I'm at. Where I'm just talking. I want to talk to people all the time, and I'm happy making plans with everyone all the time, and that's great. And then sometimes I'll be by myself, but that's okay because I'm gonna go out and do this other thing.
it's going down a rabbit hole.
I am. It's fine. That's how it goes. And then
Trust me, it's going to happen again, I'm sure.
But he experienced also what it's like if my tank is high, like if I've had a lot of interaction from a lot of different places, and I've had
He ghosts you. That's what it is. He ghosts everybody at that point.
I will, and it's not on purpose. I put my head down, just plow forward for a while, until the tank comes back down, and I start to feel that need again, and then I jump right back in.
We talked about that on the
That's
podcast
crazy
a couple weeks
you know
ago.
what?
So.
Any other person who didn't know you would say you got bipolar.
No, I'm not bipolar.
Listen to what I said.
I know anybody that didn't
Any
know.
other person who didn't know you would swear you had bipolar,
Well-
just by your description.
Well, because if my tank's full, suddenly I'm gone, and they wouldn't know that. But it's hard. The thing is like I haven't had it that full in so long.
It is hard when you
I-
got this new friend that you're starting to connect with, and then they disconnect entirely.
That's
real hard. It's like, dude, yo, are we still friends? Did I
Yes,
do
we're
something?
friends.
Like,
No.
what the heck?
So with the holidays, especially started around Thanksgiving, which you were at Thanksgiving, but we started Thanksgiving, and then holidays came, and everything was busy, and then I had all these people at my house, and I saw friends from up north, and I was just filled up with all this, like, everything was good, and then I needed that to come down a little bit because I'm good, so I just start plowing forward, and I haven't talked to anyone in a while, and it just,
My tank's more of a bottomless pit.
I don't get it. So your tank is full, but you ghost people.
No. So like it's his like people tank. So like
You've had enough.
I've got.
well, it's not. I've
had
that because
I'm
I still,
full. Like I'm good. Like this is. I
You've
don't
had enough.
need it.
well, it's not. I have enough because I can still talk to people. It's just that when it's lower, it could be anywhere underneath that, right? I still feel the need to reach out to people and like do stuff. But if it's up, I don't reach out to people because I don't feel the need to reach out to people. So that's when I'm just going. And I know I'm going to see people on Sundays and Wednesdays and all these other days, and so I'm good because I know I'm going to have people around, you know. So I don't feel the need though to purposely reach out to people. It's really weird. It's weird. I know it. I'm weird. It's good.
Yeah, mine's a bottomless pit. Mine
Bottomless.
never fills.
Mine is a.
Eh.
It is what it is.
All right, what else you got with trust?
All right, so, I
You ever
got
do a
another
trust
thing.
fall?
I did.
Yeah.
I did,
We had this girl in our youth
but I
group.
didn't do it.
We had this girl in our youth group while I was in college, who would just randomly blurt out, "Trust me, I'm falling," and then just throw herself.
Oh no,
And people would like purposefully like just move.
that's so mean.
But she would do it randomly too. She expected to hit the floor every once in a while, but she would be like, "No, trust me, she did."
He's trying to trust him.
But she'd be like, "Trust me, yeah, trust me." She
See,
did.
that's a very common thing.
Trust me.
Trust me.
Trust me. It's a cool.
Trust me. I know what I'm
Look,
talking
man,
about.
my integrity has put me in a place where you should be able to trust me.
I trust you.
Huh?
I do. I trust you. No.
Do
you're-
you trust me? I'm just kidding.
Okay, so this is getting awkward quick. Okay.
Okay. Do you trust? Okay. So
Is this the next topic?
this is.
Thank you. Okay.
What's the kind of thing? Well, okay, you got the outline.
She's got the next thing.
You got the outline.
All right. So the other quote that I did like, right? It's from a pastor of the New Covenant Baptist Church. His name is E.W. Kenyon.
Yep, sounds like a bad.
Essick. Essick is his name. Essick William. What a name. Different. So his quote is, "Faith talks the language of God, and doubt talks the language of man."
Hmm.
Love that, because that is so true. Doubt is very easy to talk, but faith, you would think it would be when you start to tell someone to doubt something or to doubt you or to whatever, they would more so be like, don't talk to me like that. But when you talk faith with people, oh man, it's a whole, they'll welcome the doubt. They're like, oh, you faith? Mm-mm. I don't even want to broach that subject. It happens to me a lot at work.
Actually, you know what's crazy is I've actually, I can see that happening where somebody be like, "Man, you can't trust me," and somebody be like, "No, it's okay, I can trust you." But if you can trust God.
If you're telling me I can't trust
Well,
you,
It's because whenever it comes to God, people say that faith is blind, right? And
I thought that
it's
was justice.
Okay, well,
justice is supposed to be, but faith is not. Faith is not
Right.
supposed to be blind, right? And it's not for the average Christian. It's based on something.
Mm-hmm.
Faith is based on
Trust.
a trusting experience that we've had, right?
Yeah.
Like something that has allowed us to place our trust
either
in God.
Yeah, so either it's usually general or personal revelation, or special. I should say special, general or special revelation.
Trust is, on so many levels, a word that people shouldn't use that word loosely. Only because, trust me, this medicine I'm going to give you is going to make you feel better. How do I know that?
how do you know that, right?
How do
Like,
I know that?
No, I mean, like, but how does
How do I know
how does the
to say
person
that
giving
to-
it to you know that?
Exactly.
Because until you've taken it, especially with medications, right?
Yeah.
Until you've taken it, you don't know how it's going to react with your
You
body.
could have
It
a
wouldn't-
whole allergic reaction to it. You
Yeah,
don't
because
know.
there's always that end of the commercial. Don't take this if you're allergic to it, but you won't know that unless you take it.
Right.
Also, don't take this because you could die.
Right. You're going to get
But-
CKD, vomiting,
but you know-
diarrhea, nausea.
You know,
could, like, break out into some red spots. Grow a tail.
grow a tail. Turn
All
it
your
into,
hair could fall
got some
out.
Dragon Ball Z going on over here. It's
Yeah.
like it sprouts a tail. So, as for all nerds out there listening, but that points back to what you said earlier. See, you can't trust that because you don't know.
Right.
Because it's different for every person.
Correct.
It's changing, right? It changes from person to person. But what you said earlier was that God doesn't change.
Correct.
And so we can trust that God is going to treat you like he treats me,
Yep.
like he treats
Yep.
him.
It
because
would
God
always
is
be the
God.
same. That's right.
And he
because
doesn't change that.
Matthew,
His rules are his rules, period. Like
Period.
That's it.
Matthew 24:35 says, "Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not."
Well, I mean, God didn't allow for man to make a covenant with him. He made a covenant with himself for man,
This is true.
which is huge, right? Like, he's like, no. You don't have to trust other people on this thing that I'm telling you
Yep.
for them to hold this up.
Yep.
It's me that's going to hold this up, and I'm the one accountable for it.
Did I talk to you about this when it comes to Abraham?
I've had this conversation like 15 different times the last
Okay.
couple months. It has come up a lot, but it's so good, man. Like, it's so good. We don't trust and lean on our own understandings, right?
Yeah.
But fully on his, because his doesn't change.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's the eternal.
What is it? Omnipotent?
All powerful.
Omnipotent.
Omnipotent.
Let's turn it into a Key and Peele speech.
Omnipotent.
Omnipotent. All right.
But yeah.
It's like trying to pronounce names in the Bible, dude. Like,
oh no, stop it.
You know what's funny is I have a Bible study that's just been ongoing for many years now, and we always joke about the parts in the Bible where there's a lot of names and how difficult that is.
Mm-hmm.
But then I go and I'm that person that looks up the Greek words, and I'm like, oh, but in the Greek, this was what this means. But then I'll go and try to say the Greek words. Sometimes I'm successful. Sometimes I'm like,
I don't even try to pronounce them. I just look at them and be like, okay, just keep reading.
Yeah, like I don't know. I tell you what, I love doing it. I will say that I really got out of a lot out of the passage this past week because I went into the Greek to see what the original Greek meant, and I was like, this is so much better. But yeah, reading some of those words, nope, not
Yeah,
gonna
I
happen
know.
for me.
I know.
And you start, and that's the thing. It's a false trust because you're like, I can read this, and you start talking, and
then
your
you
mouth
be
is
like-
like, no, you can't.
what we can trust, though, is the Holy Spirit to reveal to us what we're reading and what we need to get from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
See if
All right, you got anywhere else we're going?
What's this?
I don't know.
What's this? You got a book?
So every so often,
You read?
I try to.
I don't.
I try.
I try not to.
You should read.
I try not to.
It's good for your brain.
The Working Genius thing was pretty good,
Yeah,
but I
you,
listened to it.
You should read it. It's good
Oh,
for
I
your
was
brain
gonna-
to
I
read.
listened to it.
I thought it would have been.
I ain't got
in here,
time
but
for
it's
that.
not.
It's good for your brain.
Listen, sometimes.
But it's not good for my brain because I have to read it 15 times to get anything out of it.
Keep calm and trust God. Oh, I love it.
Trust God, bro.
Trust God, bro.
And it goes from anxiety all the way to unexpected setbacks.
Hashtag. trust
Yeah,
God,
that's
bro.
the one thing.
So
My wife's always working on that with me, especially in traffic.
it's hard. See, I've gotten over the traffic thing. Remember?
Yeah, careful.
Turn on the music.
Within the next week, you're going to be like, yep, I did it again.
No, turn on the music. I blast the music. I blast.
She speaks Jesus.
I just roll down the windows and I blast the music.
Shouts Jesus from the mountaintops.
it works. But the good thing is I don't have to drive that far anymore, so I don't have to deal with that.
That's how that works.
I don't have to drive very far for my work either.
No, remember I used to drive over pretty much to Health Park, and
Every time I think I'm in a good spot driving, somebody will, like, cut me off in a weird way or something. I'm like, what is going on? And she's like, why do you always get so mad about this?
because I don't like it.
Because
I don't
Because
like
if everybody else drove like me, it'd be fine.
it. Right.
yeah, well, it's more like she knows that, like, I don't like someone suddenly slowing me down, as if that's the worst is when feel like I'm at a good speed and then somebody and everything starts slowing down. I can't get over to get around them or anything like that.
And they have no reason to be in the lane that you're in.
They have no
Right.
reason to be going the
Or
speed
the
that they're
ones
going.
that are in your lane, or all the way on this lane and cut all the way over.
Oh yeah,
6 lanes.
that's the kind of
Ew.
thing. And if it's an inconvenience to my current pace, that's the worst. And then she's like,
If I have to slow
Trying to
down
tell
for you
me.
to pull out, you should not have pulled out.
perhaps yes. So, but the thing is, she's like, well, this is where you got to trust God. He could be slowing you down on purpose. There could be some reason that you're not there at that exact time. And
God has equipped me with
Yeah,
something that is
that's true.
phenomenal. God has equipped me with the knowledge to wake up early, get ready, and be out of the house early, so that I don't get aggravated driving my 8 minutes to work.
Right.
So I thank him for that. I don't cuss anybody out.
Right, because if you show up early, or if you leave early, you build in time,
Correct.
so you're not in a rush.
See, this is why it's still a problem for me. I could have all the time in the world. I could have to be there at 2:00. I'm looking to get there at 1:00. I have all the time I need, and it's just something that sets me back maybe a few seconds, and I'm ready to lose it. I'm like, why is this happening? And my wife's
Because
gonna
if
be like,
I'm
why?
not, because if I'm on time, I'm late.
But see, I'm a grandpa driver. Like, I drive like your grandfather. Like, it's slow. I drive speed
look at that
limit,
tree.
not over the speed
Look at the
limit.
tree go by.
Like, I'm the guy that, like, I've been told cops target because I drive the way you're supposed to. Like, both hands on the wheel, like speed limit,
He's got
blinkers
drugs. I'm telling you right
always
now.
when I'm
Drugs,
supposed
drugs,
to.
drugs.
I
Oh,
always
he's
try to
drunk.
leave
Oh,
the
he's drunk.
appropriate amount of vehicle links in front of me,
Oh, yeah, he's
like
hiding
all that.
something.
That's, I mean,
He's
Good on
hiding
ya.
something.
Well, apparently over the last couple months, I was hiding something.
you what?
Yeah. Yeah, my driver's license was expired.
Oh,
Found out when I did my taxes. It was crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. So
How
don't
did
trust
you-
don't trust it.
Did
You gotta
your
keep an
birthday
eye on
come
it.
and go?
Oh yeah, no, it was December.
So
You
your
have
birthday,
it 8 years. 8 years is the renewal time. I didn't realize that I
You don't know
needed
to
it.
check every birthday? Just in case.
I never have checked every birthday. No, normally I get something in the mail that says, "Hey, you need to go get this done."
Oh, they didn't send it.
And
They
I
probably
guess
did.
not.
He just missed it.
I probably did. But fun fact:
That's what happens to
you
me.
can't renew it online if it's expired. Just
No.
for the record, you can't
Yeah, you
renew it
gotta go
online
down
before
there.
that. Yeah.
How long did that take you?
3.5 hours.
Are you serious?
Because I didn't have an appointment. Because it takes a month. It's a month-long wait for an appointment. So walk-ins are 3 to 5 hours.
Oh, no. See,
So I waited for 3 and talked to the very nice lady. I mean, she was really nice for like 30 minutes and was out.
so, again, how God has equipped me with things that he knows would probably benefit me. Every license I have to renew, I renew it 6 months before.
You're wasting so much money doing that.
All
No,
right.
not really.
Not really. Eventually, she'll
Not really.
build herself up to a
It's
full
the
license.
same.
It's fine.
It's the same amount of money. It's the same amount.
I
My
guess it
RN
doesn't down here. It doesn't
No.
shift the date.
See, my RN,
so,
my RN
yeah.
license, every 2 years, April 30th,
yeah,
I have to
get
do
that
it.
done.
So I can do it in December.
Hmm.
I just do it. No matter what, it's the same amount of money.
Yeah,
So-
no, that's true.
Just get
and
it
it just
done.
taxed on the
When I do my vehicle registration, 2 years, boom.
Yeah,
'Cause I don't want
I get
that
2
headache.
years too. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My license, it's going to expire. You can do it 6 months before it
I never think about
expires.
my license though. Like although I smiled in this one
Yeah.
that says
that's
you
what
can
need.
trust me.
I'll probably check mine here in a
Oh, I should have thumbs up. That would have been great. Be like last segment. You know, like
They get
have
so
that
mad.
creepy.
They would be like, we gotta.
No,
do
no,
this.
no.
We
She
gotta-
said
be
she
sitting
was
there.
like, you can smile if you like. So I just went. And
You didn't really do.
I didn't do that. No, but I smiled.
Wait, like the.
I'm not that short. Or bald. I'm not bald. But I do have a laser. So it
There's
is
some
that.
things.
There's that.
There's some things that only the people that watch this are gonna get out of that one.
Right. They're gonna really understand.
All right. So how do we land this plane?
Put the landing gear down first. Wow. Bring it down slow.
So, the moral of the story is
Trust
in
God, bro.
God. That's right.
Trust God, bro.
Trust in God,
Yeah.
and He will
Yeah.
either take out what is not good or bring in what is good.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta be willing to open ourselves up to how to continue to trust Him. And as I kind of indicated, I think it's important to not beat yourself up when you find yourself making the same mistakes, and just continue to just work on it. Okay, well, yep, I did it again. Let's do it. Let's answer quicker. It's all part of the journey sometimes, but keep moving forward in a way that you can recognize God's calling to you.
You're not going
let
to
go.
learn unless you try.
Yeah.
Well, also, Jesus already paid for that.
Correct.
He paid for the stuff you haven't done yet. Like,
I mean, don't try to do
Jesus
it.
paid it all.
well, no, I mean,
Don't try to do it.
You should you should recognize that it's not good,
Right.
but you shouldn't stay there because He already knew it back when He paid for it. What you were going to do, right?
Yeah. You were already a thought. You were already a thought. Even back in 1901. I don't know why I picked 1901.
I was gonna say that's very random year.
It's just a number. You already thought
I
of it.
wonder what happened in 1901.
I know.
I don't know. His great-great-grandfather was like, one day I'm gonna have a great-great-grandson.
And I want his name to be Matthew. Matthew.
That would be wild if that was true for me, considering
never
that I don't
know.
know my.
I don't know my grandparents. Neither one of them.
No, I don't see. My dad was adopted, so I don't know where that lineage fully comes from. So
That's crazy.
yeah,
Have you spit in a cup yet?
I have.
Did you find out anything?
Oh, I took loads.
Yeah.
Loads. I mean, I know the area we're from, pinpointed actually, and I know one of our.
I have some Scottish in me.
I've got Scottish,
I
but
don't know where.
very Irish.
I don't know where the Scottish part of me is, but
Very, very Irish. But that's not the point. The point being is that, like, I was able to find, like, a line,
mm-hmm.
but I don't know if it's maternal or paternal. And I know it's, but it's very interesting to see where everything kind of came together. But it's hard, man, and I just got tired of paying for the membership.
Yeah, I know. I did the same thing because I wanted to know what my lineage is because, you have some that say this, and some that say that, and these ones here said this, and it traveled down, and they played telephone, and it wasn't right. I do know I have Scottish, Congo.
Congo?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
So you're Congolese?
Congolese.
Congolese.
I have where was it? I have Togo. So a lot of these
Where is
places,
that?
they're all in Africa.
Togo?
Never would have guessed you had any African in you.
Benin and Togo.
That's right.
The Scottish kind of throws me.
The Scottish threw me for a loop.
That's wild.
I have Mali.
Hey, you're not supposed to share that.
Not that Molly. Not Molly.
Oh,
but
okay.
Mali. Yeah, so I'm like a full-on mutt. I have so much
From everywhere.
I think Congo though is my main one that I have. Yeah, which is weird because it's like my grandfather was Spanish Indian. I have grandparents that I have a grandfather that was a twin, and that they were from France, But
Yeah.
that's, of course, what is said. Cultural things.
Yeah,
so.
my dad's side. Yeah, that's.
Do you trust those things though?
No.
I mean, you can put some. It's fun, but what was interesting was using the DNA. I actually talked to people who. That's how I found out one of my lines, is talking to people and putting things together, and then seeing where our results lined up and such like that, which was cool.
Whose line is it anyway?
Yeah,
Not mine.
How do you know?
I can't find nothing because, of course,
You can't find nothing.
I'm from the islands.
So you find everything
I'm from the islands. They didn't keep records
from the
back
islands. Everybody talks about the islands, and I'm like, there's a lot of islands in this world.
There's quite.
Everybody's always talking about the same islands apparently, but I don't know which islands that we are actually talking about. But
the Caribbean islands. I
right,
mean, you could pretty
not
much
the only
look at
islands in the
something.
world. Just for the record, it's all of Indonesia is like islands. Like Hawaii. Hawaii is all islands. Like
Well, I'm not Hawaiian.
you could be. I'm big boned. I'm not Hawaiian.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
aloha,
Yeah.
which is what we need to say soon.
And I'm Irish, but I'm not a leprechaun.
If you want to fight, then step up and we'll get it on.
Yes! I don't know how cool that is to anyone that just listened to it. But thank that man right now because that was awesome. Okay.
I'm Irish, but I'm not a leprechaun. You want to fight, then step up and we'll get it on. Anyways, okay. Let's wrap this thing
It's a
up.
song.
So
It was good.
I'm
trust God,
Scottish,
bro.
not
Trust
Irish.
God, bro. Trust God, bro. That's what it's at. That's
trust
where it's
God.
at.
Yeah.
Trust God. And try to trust others. Here's a challenge for you. Try to trust others as though you're trusting God. And I don't mean trust them with things that they're going to do for you, but speak into their lives, share what is going on with yours, because you don't know what they need to hear, and God's got you. Regardless of what they plan to do for you, to do to you, what people intend for evil, God is going to do something good with. So trust people like you're going to trust God. And check out our Patreon, subscribe here. We got tons of cool stuff. You can go to our Linktree. Linktree is the best place to find our merch. Not that we get any money for it yet, but it is what it is.
That's what the kids taught me. Because I was doing it like this, and they're like, no, it's like that. I'm like, okay.
That looks like a gang sign.
These two.
You know what? I don't care.
All right, y'all. We love you. God bless.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Make sure to subscribe and give us a like on iTunes and Spotify so that you will never miss a show. And while you're at it, check out our Facebook and Instagram pages and make sure you tell your friends about this show. You don't want them to miss out on the truth because we are all about the truth here. Thanks for joining us this week, and God bless.